I hope that this day, first of all, thank you for doing hard work this afternoon and for all of your attention and great questions. We're enormously appreciative of the time, and we're really so stimulated by the way you're thinking, and you've given us so much food for thought we have in these readouts and in the conversation that will continue. We hope this conversation will continue through cocktails and way beyond, and we'll be reporting back to you as well, and we're going to continue to look to you to be our cohort of advisors and questioners as we try to fulfill this ambition. We hope that those of you who came because you view yourselves as innovators really are stimulated to think about resilience now when you think about the ways that, whether it's technology innovation or other kinds of innovation, that you apply some of your thinking in that domain. If that we achieved by today, we will be very successful indeed. And we hope those of you who think that you're resilience thinkers and practitioners really do think in ways that allow greater innovation in this space and in your own work. So we had a reason and a strategy, as I said, for blending these two. In hearing the conversation this afternoon, I would just make three comments about the work. The first is, it is very clear that this is in part a political process and that influencing the actors is going to be a key component of it. We are extremely mindful of that and luckily are not reluctant to engage. Both influence at the levels of government and influence at the levels of the communities with whom we have great comfort and with whom we have a lot of credibility. So I think we do recognize in all levels of the political part of this that there's the need to really get in there or it's only going to be a surface set of activities. The second point I'd like to make is that this really is, and Tom Frieden said it very well, about making systems work in the good times so that you can punch them up for the bad times. And that means that there is an advantage to doing this, even if the bad stuff doesn't happen. And that's what we've got to make clear, and that's what we've got to put on the ground with the work. That is a very profound insight, and Tom said it so simply, but it is a really important one as we have been on the ground and as we're on the ground doing this work. The third point I'd like to make from hearing the conversation is that there was a lot of conversation about what's specific and how could it be generalized. And I want to articulate for you what helped me to think about this ultimately, and that is that there's a very big difference between resilience principles and resilience practices. Resilience principles are the kinds of things that we talked about a little bit, but sometimes get lost when you're in the storytelling and the whatever. But they really do have to do with elasticity, they have to do with information feedback, they have to do with redundancy, they have to do with how you de-link and de-network pieces of a system so that they don't take other pieces of the system down. These are actually very clear principles, and they are indeed quite generalizable. Resilience practices may be local and specific. There are some generalities, and we expect to see a lot of learning where the generalizability relates to a particular kind of coastal intervention or the like. But the resilience principle generalizability will be a great advantage when we link 100 cities together in this work. And it doesn't diminish the specificity of the local practice, but there is a need to really differentiate between practice and principle. So with that, I want to express my gratitude not only to those of you who made today happen, But to those of you, since this is our last centennial event, who made this year and the previous years that we sort of labeled centennial years as well, a great success. And that is always our partners, our grantees, in so much of the work we do around the world, and really give us the privilege to stand up here and talk about the exciting things that we are able to participate in. I want to thank Michael Myers, our managing director for the Centennial. Michael. And I just want to say to all of you, my Rockefeller colleagues, and those of you who I know well in the audience and will come to know, what an unbelievable honor and privilege it has been to serve as president of the foundation during this time, to be able to go back and to look at an institution that's had such a storied 100-year history, and to be able to be in the position to plan for its future is really an extraordinary gift. So I just want to express my appreciation for being in this role and the opportunity. I'm very optimistic about the future. I think we have the power to control it. Thank you.